Hey, Carmen. It hasn't started, but we're getting ready to start.
Ground control.
How's everybody doing out there?
Ground control to Major Tom.
Ground control to Major Tom.
Take your protein.
How's everybody doing?
Your helmet on.
Good to see all your lovely smiling faces.
Ground
And
control to Major
hope you are all smiling. It's been a beautiful day out here in southwestern Indiana. Almost 80 degrees. Hey, Diana, how are you? Good to see you. I've got that apron waiting for you. Sorry about that. I apologize. My oversight. Hope everybody's having a lovely time. Hope you're getting a lot of crafting done out there. Julie has got some really cool cards she's going to do tonight. Don't you just love David Bowie? That's a great song. We thought we'd make that our theme song. You like that? So anyway, I'll turn the music down now. So Julie is going, can I show them the card?
Yeah.
Julie's going to be doing the pop and twist card. I'll do that again. Pop and twist. Isn't that cool?
We're doing two tonight.
That's one of the cards. Where's the other card you're doing?
Which one do you have?
I have pop and twist.
The rainbow one.
The rainbow, the rainbow, the rainbow. Well, I don't know where she put it. She's got it somewhere. But I wanted to tell you about the bundle special that we're having because we're doing the pop and twist tonight. We have a bundle special where we're going to be giving you the pop and twist die, which is $26.99, and Tom's Text, which is $42.99. That is a value regularly priced at $69.98, but with the bundle special, it's $48.99 with free freight. Do you add up your freight and everything? That's a savings of $28.99. Ladies, I told you a long time ago, we don't make much money around here, but we make a lot of prints. So along with that, because you're going to get free freight, if you want to add anything else on the order, it gets shipped free too. So what a deal.
What did you just say?
I just told them about the bundle special, this right here.
Okay.
And I told them they could piggyback anything else they wanted and get free freight on it too if they order the bundle special. So, and then you can use the bundle special. Of course, it's on its own. You don't get an additional 20% off, but that's a 30% discount. And everything else has a 20% off if you use the code SUNSHINE. Don't forget the code SUNSHINE to get your 20% off. And I'm going to be giving away some stuff tonight. Yes, indeed. I have got a 12-pack of alcohol markers from Sizzix. I don't know if you've seen these around or not. As you can tell, they are a pastel 12-pack. They have both a broad tip and a fine tip on them. So double tip markers. We're going to be giving those away tonight. And I've also got a really cool Sizzix embossing folder we're going to be giving away tonight too. So, Julie, are you ready?
Hang on.
Without any further ado, we're going to get on with today's show and have lots of fun. If you have any questions in the process, don't hesitate to type your questions in. I will be monitoring the feedback, and we can get those questions answered for you right on the spot. So thanks a lot. Here's Julie.
Okay. Did you clarify, like, you can still use the 20, but...
You can clarify again. I thought I did. But they
Hello.
They don't get the bundle and the 20.
Yes. So if you buy, there's a new category, just to clarify, there's a new category on the website, and it's called Bundle Special, and it has bundles. It has bundles. If you purchase the bundles, you get an extra savings. You can get those at 30% off. You can't use a 20% off coupon on them, but you get extra savings.
But you get 20% on the other stuff.
You can get 20% on the other things. So moving forward, as we do a grouping of cards, then we're going to bundle those items together. So if you wanted to buy all of those things, you could get an additional savings on them. You don't have to. And what's really fun about the things that I have planned for next week is I've already got the bundle specials online. They're already there. And so if you want to purchase that stuff ahead of time, you can. I want to specifically talk with you about the next Thursday. We're going to do grad cards, and I have a blog post about it. Our blog is www.creekbankcreations.blogspot.com. Tom, can you type that in there so they see that?
What is it?
It's www.creekbankcreations.blogspot.com. And we're going to do, next Thursday, we're going to do 2 graduation cards. And if you look on the blog, there is a complete list of the supplies that you need. There's a list of the products that I'm using with a clickable link. And then there's a list of products that you need to provide for yourself, like the ink. And I don't know if I included the ink. You need ink. But there's a full list there. So you can gather those things together and watch the YouTube live next Thursday. And you can use the products. You can use our products, or if you have products at home that will work, you can use those products. So we're going to learn how to make this window type card. And this is just a sheet of overhead acetate. And the size of that is on the blog post.
What's the blog post again?
It's www.creekbankcreations.blogspot.com. And I did put that link in on our Creek Bank Facebook page. There's a direct link to that blog post. So this could be like a piece of plastic that comes off of packaging if you don't have overhead. So you can get creative with what you use there. We're going to learn how to make this card, and this is made with a flap so that you can glue dot a gift card in there. So we're going to make that. That's an A2 card. And then we're going to make this fun card. Is this not fun? It ends up being a 6x6 card. It will actually stand up so you can see it.
That is cool.
It will stand up.
That is cool.
And so we're going to make the tassel, and this, our pocket is put on with that clear foam tape so you cannot see it, which gives you room for a gift card to sit in there or for cash. So that's just, these are just fun cards, and y'all have mentioned that you want to do grad cards. So these are 2 that we're going to do next week. And so Tom's going to talk to you more about the bundle pricing on this stuff too, in case you want to purchase the bundle. So how many viewers do we have? 62 viewers. Holy cow. So we're going to work with the Pop Twist die tonight. Before we get started, how's everybody doing? Are you hanging in there? I noticed today on my personal Facebook feed late in the day, people were starting to go kind of the stress. So I know this is stressful. Believe it or not, it's stressful at our house too. You know, Tom's like handled this like a champ, which is good, because I've been like a chihuahua.
You've been like a wound up banjo string.
Wound up banjo string. I don't know if I've been that. I don't know if I've been that type. So I wanted to share with you something that Dr. Leaf shared this week, and Dr. Caroline Leaf is who I follow on Facebook. She is a cognitive, clinical, something. She's a brain person. And here's what she says in a nutshell. This is like Julie translation for you. When you think negative thoughts, you kill off brain cells. You get new brain cells every day. Your brain makes new brain cells, and it's our choice what we do with them. So when we worry and we fret and we think negative things and we're angry and we hate, we're really, you know, Dr. Leaf says we're doing brain damage. We're killing off brain cells. We don't want to do that. We want to be in the positive zone. So it's not that we're not admitting that life doesn't have difficulties and struggles, because we certainly know that it does, but it's what we do with those thoughts that can make the difference in our lives. So here is some of the questions that she posted that I thought were excellent. And I posted this on the Creek Bank Creations Facebook page too. So we'll just do the first question. I think this would be good. What am I grateful for today? So there's a series of questions. While I'm reading these, why don't you guys type in there, like, what are you grateful for today? Who am I checking in on or connecting with? What expectations of normal am I letting go of today? And some of us are like dealing with that more than others. Just kind of depends on how this crisis is affecting you. How am I getting outside today? How am I moving my body today? What beauty am I either creating, cultivating, or inviting? So are they saying what they're grateful for, Tom?
Yes, everything from the sunshine to having this dark class tonight, my family and our health, doing well, beautiful weather
I'm
today.
trying to get my feed to come up on here, and I think I'm going to need your help.
Nancy L says the brain cell thing is interesting.
It is. You have to study more from Dr. Leaf. I'm gonna need your help over here, Tom, with this.
Tell her that it's Christian based. It's not. It's just not.
Yeah, Dr. Leaf is. I think she's got a PhD. It's this. There it is. There I am. Okay, sorry, ladies. I'm trying to get all my equipment figured out here. PhD in speech pathology. I'm gonna need you to take the volume down on that. Sorry, guys. We have to run we have to run 3 pieces of equipment while this is going on, and it's kind of crazy. So, oh, there it is. Good job, Tom. You got it. Okay, so if you you can look up Dr. Leaf online, and I'll just tell you, when you start listening to her, like if you watch one of the YouTube seminars, things that she does, like she speaks at churches, and there's a whole series that she did at the River Church. Oh my gosh, it's like you have to listen to it over and over to really understand, because she literally has like a diagram of a brain and starts like going through the whole brain thing. But it's really good teaching, and really necessary for where we're at today, because it's really easy to just get on the negative roll.
And Barb also knows who Dr. Leaf is. She says he's wonderful.
Who does?
Barb.
Awesome. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you some scripture tonight. Joshua 1:9. Be strong, be brave, be fearless. You are not alone. That's good. Joshua 1:9, or did I say that? I said that one. Yes. Psalm 93:4. Mightier than the waves of the sea, his love for you. We're going to do some of the cards. Joshua, let's do Proverbs 3. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. So those are really good scriptures. If you haven't found a scripture to hang on to, I encourage you to dig in and find one. I'm feeling panicked today. I need peace. And you can type in scriptures for peace and find one out, and that can be your scripture for the day. One of the things that's been really helpful to me is when this whole thing started, I requested a list of first responders from my Facebook feed, thinking that like I would get like maybe 20 people to pray for. And so when I start feeling anxiety, I pray for my list of first responders. And my list of first responders has grown to nearly 60 people, which shocks me, because I know them directly, or it's somebody's daughter or son-in-law, that type thing. And I have 5 doctors on my list, and nurses, and people that work in admitting in hospitals, people that work in pharmacies. So I am throwing off and turning off the anxiety that I have, and I am praying for those first responders, and we know they certainly need our prayer. So okay, so we're last week some people asked about the notification, and that they didn't get a notification, and I did a little research, and when you subscribe to the channel, when that comes up, there's a little bell to the right, and if you hit that bell, you have to click on that bell. It should be sending you a notification, and I can't turn that on. You have to turn it on. So if you haven't done that, you can look at the page and see that you need to hit that little bell. So we're going to talk about the Pop Twist die tonight. This is what it looks like in the package, and you really can't see.
Show them what it cuts, dear.
What's
with
in
the diagram on the back of the die.
Yeah, this
It's
is what
two
it
pieces.
cuts.
It cuts
It's 2 dies, 2 pieces, and when you cut it, this is get my die out here. I want to talk. I'm really good at the talking thing, you know. Talk first. So you have 2 pieces here. This is your base piece that we're gonna adhere into the card, okay? And this is your panel. So you don't have to cut 2 of these and attach them together. Some companies have these in 2 parts. I made this all in 1 piece, so you don't have to piece it together. Super easy. And I will tell you something. This die has a lot of score lines on it, and it does not like hang on, I want to show you what it doesn't like. You know, if you've watched me very long, you know this is my favorite shim configuration for cutting in the Big Shot or the Sizzix.
Tell them what it is.
Magnetic.
Thank you.
It is a wonder I can even do this at all without the coaching. The magnetic platform, precision base plate, clear on top. So this normally is my sandwich. I like to cut die side down, so I put my paper down, put my die on, and there's a Lord have mercy.
And I think
It's gonna be a long night,
And I
ladies.
think we have those in stock at 20% off.
Yes, we have these in stock at 20% off. Okay, so this is how I like to cut. And this die is short enough that if I wanted to, I could fit it on there and I could cut it. But because of the major score lines that are on this piece, it does not like this stack. It's the tightest stack that you can die cut on, and it really needs to be cut on the basic configuration. So the basic platform that you got, and this is the Vagabond, and it's got the, what's this thing called? The thin die adapter. This brown piece is the thin die adapter, and then 2 clears. So this is how it likes to cut. And when you cut it, I usually trim my paper down so that it's pretty close to the same size, and try to run it through the machine. Show you this. So not straight up like this when you run through the machine, but try to crank it off at an angle if you can. Your dies will cut better, and your machine will be, your machine will last longer if you don't ram dies straight into the die cut machine, especially this when it's got this long straight line. Crank it off to at an angle if you can. Okay, I know sometimes you can't, but if you can, that's a good idea. Okay, so we're gonna work on 2 cards tonight, and we're gonna teach you some little tricks, and then we're gonna make a glitter panel at the end. So first card we're gonna do is our graduation card, and I did use the alphabet set, the outline alphabet set on the inside, so we're gonna do that one, and then here's the other card Tom couldn't find. We're gonna do Sunshine and Rainbows. Pop. Okay, and I'm going to teach you how to make this panel. Isn't that fun? Okay, so show you, here is a birthday card. That's not my phone, that's Tom's. We're going to pop that up. Not seeing the whole card. Is anyone else not seeing the whole card? Back up. Okay. Am I too close? Yes, Diane, they do cut quieter that way too. Okay, so this is a fun card to play around with. Diane did this card. You can do it so much with it. You can use the dies that you already own. This is another one where we did the panel, and I'm going to talk to you more about that in a minute. Now, when I designed the Tom's Text alphabet set, which is a part of the bundle, I specifically designed it to fit into the panel of the Pop Twist card so that you could write a greeting of your choice and get it to fit in that panel. They're pretty small. Those letters are like 3/4 of an inch, and the set has the upper case and the lower case and the alphabet.
Is your comment
The
section
numbers.
on your phone open?
On my phone
Yes.
up here? No.
Okay, just checking.
Okay, I can see it here.
Okay.
Okay.
fine.
All right, so we're going to do the graduation card first. And to get started, I'm going to build the front of that card first. And I did a little trick. If I'm doing a pop card, and I've got a lot going on the inside, then I usually try to simplify the outside. So this card is, a pretty basic outside piece, but I do want to show you how I layered that. And we're gonna do that. I want to show you how I did that because it's just a nice little trick. This is the congratulations die, and when you buy the congratulations die, it has the actual word and then it has the mat as well. So we use those to do this. Okay, so we're gonna I'm gonna turn the camera down, and then we're gonna ink the front, and I'm gonna get going. If you have questions as you go along, feel free to post those, and Tom will let me know because you know he's good at that.
Where's your brushes?
My brushes are behind me. I'll get them.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. Hang on. This is the hard part. Maybe someday I'll be better at this part. Okay. How are we looking? My hand. Tom, am I upside down or right side up? Can the ladies tell me, please?
What's your monitor show you?
Well, I'm confused.
Ask them.
I don't have
Looks good. Michelle said it looks good.
I don't have I lost the
Michelle said it looks good.
Okay, so if I do this, am I upside down or right side up? I need help, Tom. I need help.
I can't tell, honey.
Okay, is it not feeding for you?
No, it's delayed.
Okay. I think I'm in the middle there. Okay, so we're going to start
Right
with
side up. You're right side up.
Okay, we're going to start. Sorry, ladies. This is difficult. We are, we don't have, sometimes the feed is lagging, so I cannot see exactly what is going on, and that makes it difficult. So what we're going to do is we're going to ink that panel first. So all of the graduation cards that I'll be doing over the next few weeks, I am doing in yellow and blue, because when my son graduated from high school, those were his colors. So when you do your grad card, you can just choose whatever your school colors are. And I like to put the lighter color in the background. So in this case, I am using the graduation cap stencil, and we will be using this next week in the cards that we're doing next week. Now, I adhered the base card down with a piece of our score tape so that I don't have it wiggling all over the place. And I am putting the purple tape on so that the purple tape is going to secure that stencil, so that stencil is not winding all over the place. We're going to use some yellow ink, and I'm going to use the J brush tonight. The J brush is our stencil brush. I designed this for moving and blending ink. And tonight we're going to use the yellow, and I'm going to put quite a bit of ink on this because this yellow is kind of light. And so I'm going to keep the band up on the brush pretty tight, and I'm going to pick up ink, and I'm just going to go right into my stencil. And we're going to ink that all up. Now, if I keep the band back, I'm going to get a looser finish off of it. Have no idea why my phone is making that noise. Is that my phone or the tablet? Can you hear that on the video?
Not yet.
Okay, so we're inking, and we're going to ink all that in. So I like to do little circles. Tom, when he does this, he does the swipey thing back and forth. So you know, you really have to find a method that works for you with the brush and feels good for you. Tom, can I get you to clean off my stamp, get my stamp chamois wet? It's not wet. We're going to remove the purple tape, and then we have created our background there. Tom's going to clean, my stamp chamois is harder to rock. So he's going to take care of that. Now, in the beginning, I adhered that down with my super tacky tape. So I'm going to put my undo right there. And that's going to release my card. from the deck, and then I can, thank you, hon. And then I can roll that tape off the deck. I'm gonna wipe off my stencil with my stamp chamois. Nice. Okay, so we have our background. Now what I have done is we're working on an A2 card. So we have a basic A2 card. So I've cut the blue paper a 1/4 of an inch shorter all the way around. So that makes it 5.25 by 4. And then my white paper is a 1/4 of an inch smaller than that. And so my white paper is 5 by 3.75. And what we're going to end up doing is matting the stenciled card onto the blue card. So what I want to do is take my sentiment, and I'm using the congratulations sentiment tonight. And it's got that base piece and it's got the overlay. I should show you, I put all of my sentiments up on a panel, a sheet like this, and keep them all in my sleeve. I kept chasing them all over the place, and I ended up putting them in this folder.
Okay. Juanita Braun asks, does the glue remover leave a stain mark on the card? And I believe she's referring to the undo.
Yes, undo is, it only suspends adhesion. So if it's wet, I can remove things easily. And when it dries, the stickiness actually will come back. And if you look at my card, you see I don't have any mark here on my card of undo. So it will not mess with my ink that I put down or mess up my card. All is well. So undo is great for this application, and we do not sell undo because it is flammable.
We sell it at the show.
We sell it at shows. We do not ship it because it's flammable. So this is the congratulations die. And it's a 2-piece set. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the outline and we're going to set it in the bottom right corner. And I like to keep it about a 1/4 of an inch away from the side and a 1/4 of an inch from the bottom, because we are going to go back in and put foam tape around that edge. So I want room for the foam tape. And I usually eyeball it. When you work on top of the grid, this is one of the reasons I like to work on grid. It really helps you line things up better. You can see exactly what you're doing. So I'm going to hold that in place with some tape so that it doesn't shift when I die cut. And I'm going to run that through my die cut machine. I'm cutting with the Sizzix Vagabond 2. Now I have my card, and when you run this through your die cut machine, you're putting a lot of pressure on that tape. You're pushing that tape all the way down into your card face, and you want to be really careful when you pull that tape off because you'll end up tearing up your card. If you put the undo on it, you see how that releases the tape? I have my space cut out and I'm good to go. Okay, so what we want to do, we're going to put that on our card front, and we're going to add the sentiment, congratulations, but we're going to add it to the base. And so what I've done is I've cut a small piece of paper, and it measures 4 by 2. Actually, is it? Yeah, it's 4.25 by 2. We're going to put it back in the background back there, so there's some white backing. So I'm going to set it in there where I want it. Put that background and mark it with your pencil or pen. Tom, I seem to have lost my pencil. Do you see it?
Your pencil? Here's one.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Not that it matters, but okay, there's my mark. I'm going to turn this over. We're going to put adhesive on the back and put that in just so we have the right contrast of color. So you can kind of look at what your school colors are and choose 3 colors. Put that on. We're going to flip it over, and then because we marked where that went, set that right in there. Have our little background. Now we're going to take the base piece that we cut. Nice. We're going to turn it over. I'm going to add the clear foam tape. Now the
Did you
clear,
tell them that that was a two-piece die, that it came with the shadow as well as
I
the
did,
text?
I did. I am all over that, baby.
You're all right.
This is the clear foam tape. This is actually not foam. It's actually some kind of acrylic. And it's super sticky. So when you open it, sometimes getting that liner off the outside is a dog. But once you have it open, I take the powder tool. If you have a powder tool, run it around the outside edge and detack it. And then I find the easiest way to work with it is to pull that liner back and put it down on your card and cut it that way, rather than trying to pick that red liner off, because let me tell you, that red liner is super sticky. The great thing about the clear is that it doesn't show at all. So we're gonna put our foam tape all the way around this. And then we're gonna add some small pieces of foam tape. Mercy. Now, I've gone all the way around the edge. I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna take a piece. Probably have about 2 inches there, and just trim off some little pieces and go in right up in those little spaces,
Michelle,
and just add
got a couple questions.
a little bit. Yes, sir.
All right, she's asking about the thickness of the clear foam tape.
Yes.
Is it as thick as regular foam tape? And I guess regular depends on whose foam tape you're referring to.
Yeah, you want to go get the package and look and see if we actually have the dimensions on there. That is a good question, and I will tell you that not all foam tape has the same thickness, and I don't remember. We'll see if we put it on the packaging when this came in. My guess is this is like maybe a 1/4 of an inch. So I'm putting this right in those little spaces all around that edge where I think there's going to be pressure. Just little chunky pieces. And if you have regular foam tape, you can use regular foam tape or pop dots. Now, I like to get some foam up here in the top.
It's actually a little thinner than our regular foam tape.
Okay.
However, because it's a thicker density, it doesn't
crush as
like
much. That's true. Did they hear you say that, Tom?
What I said on that, Michelle, was the clear foam tape has a thicker density, and as a result, it doesn't crush like the standard white foam or black foam tape.
Okay, now we are going to take our word that we die cut, and I went ahead and die cut this ahead of time for you guys, and I'm die cutting it with my super tacky tape on the back. So if you're new and haven't seen this before, we sell super tacky tape in a 3-inch roll and a 6-inch roll. And what I'm doing is I'm going to unroll it. I'm going to put my paper down in the tape and trim it out, and then I'm die cutting it, which turns my die cut into a sticker. So I wanted to show you, this is how I like for my dies to come out of the die cut machine, with my die stuck in there. And I have found with the words that if you run them through one time, they don't get pressured up into the die as much, and they're a little bit easier to pick out. What I wanted to show you was when I get this out of the machine, comes out of the machine like this, I hold this in my hand and I push this into the ejection holes, because what I really like is for it to come out of the machine like you're looking at here, because that gives me the ability to go back in and pull out these pieces so they're not in the way later, because they have sticky all over the back of them. And we're going to layer 2 of these up. So we're going to do that with 2 of these. So this is another reason why using the pick tool is such a handy tool to have around. if you just try to pull this off and stick it down, a lot of times you'll have those pieces running around driving you nuts. Can they see that, Tom?
They must be able to because they haven't commented.
No one is complaining. Okay, if Diane is still here, Diane has permission to complain. And y'all can complain too. I give all of you permission to complain. Okay, there we go. Now, we're going to drop that into our space. So I'm going to peel that off, and I'm going to drop it right in there. Now, because I want to make sure that I'm placing that in the right spot, I'm going to just put a little bit of undo in there, and that's going to give me the ability to set that exactly where I want it. Magic. Okay, now it's going to evaporate in less than a minute. And when it does, I'll have permanent adhesion. Okay, now, I don't know if you can see this. I want you to see it close up. I'm going to pull it up so you can see it. The die cut, when you die cut with tape, you tend to get these little hairs hanging around, which they're actually cut paper fibers. And I'm going to show you how to deal with that tonight. So let's get that down. Now I'm going to put the second one on. So we're going to peel it off from our backing.
Michelle Ruff had a good question.
Yes.
And I think I know the answer, but you're working with it on hand.
Okay.
Does the undo mess with the foam tape?
Mess with it. Will
It'll
it
temporarily suspend the adhesion, but it won't it won't destroy it or anything.
It won't destroy it. If I got undo on the foam tape, it would make it untacky. But when it dries out, it's going to come, the adhesion's going to come right back up. So if you'll notice when I dumped that in there, I was real careful to make sure I just got it in that one spot. And I knew where the tape was, and I was being careful not to get it on there. So I'm using the pick tool to push that around and get it where I want. If you have undo on that base letter, on the base word, then you'll be able to move that other one around and get it where you want it. And you'll be able to have it sitting exactly like you want it. Now, I've got it all done, but I have paper fibers everywhere. So I'm going to show you how to cure that. This is a product called Embelly Jelly. This was invented years ago, and when you buy it, it comes with a stick. So it was made so that you open this up and you tear off a little ball of it. Get a little ball of it in your hand. And then I'm going to do a little trick with this later tonight too. You can use this to pick up and move things. Okay, so the stick is handy for that. But what I like to do is take this ball of Embelly Jelly, and Embelly Jelly is on the website. I'm going to get a little bit bigger one, ball it up, and I want to get this. I'm hoping that you guys can see this. I'm going to push this right into the paper fiber, and that's going to pull off all those annoying little paper fibers. So just go all over it. And if you use it in a little ball in your hand, you can literally push that right down in and get it where you want it. Now, if you have things that are still hanging on, take your pick tool and just kind of run it on that edge. Loosen those babies up and go back in. And, you know, I just like for the cards to be clean and neat when they're finished. And this gives you that. So, Embelly Jelly. Okay, it's stored in this little container. And I have had this for, I don't know, for years, 6 years, 7 years. I've had it for a long time. So great little tool to have in your kit. And I don't remember how much it costs, but it doesn't cost very much. Okay, there's our card front. That was a cool little thing. That's fun. Okay, so we're going to move to the inside of our card. We'll put the front on later. We have this, and we're going to work on the inside of our card. So I have already stamped the inside of the card with our sentiment, and I've used the sentiment from the graduation set. We're going to go back in and add a little stencil work. One of the things that's fun with the pop cards is that you can add a little stencil work and get a nice little touch on the inside of your card, which is fun. I'm going to put that down, and I'm just going to add, when I did this, I went in pretty light. It's just a little hint of color. If you want to add more ink, you can, but for me, I started at the top and went pretty light, and then I faded down into the middle. So we'll do that, and then I came back in here and added just a few hats right down in here. So you can decide how you want to do it. It's another great way to use the stencil, and you could think about putting the stencil on the outside of the envelope too. Little corner action, or maybe on the back. That's fun. Wipe off our stencil. Okay, we adhered that down in the very beginning, so we're going to use our undo. Pull that up so we don't tear up our card. Now, we will, if you were making this card at home, you would need to cut your panel and your device. Tonight, we're doing them in white. I've already die cut them, so you guys don't have to sit here and watch die cutting. So we're going to start with the actual mechanism, and we're going to install it. And to install the mechanism, we're going to end up putting that on the center point of the card. So whenever I have a die that requires a measurement, I always make a jig. So this jig is 2.75 by 4.5, and I've marked it, place in the corner, and mark the center. So I make this one time, and then every time I get this die out, I know when I see the orange paper, oh, I have a jig. And if I write on the jig actually what it tells me to do, then I know exactly what I need to do. So I don't have to keep recreating. So we need to mark the center point. Then we're going to take this piece, and we're going to train the folds back and forth. Okay, then we're going to hold it. We have a rounded corner in the top right, a rounded corner on the bottom left. Make sure you guys can see that. What we want to do is I put my fingers on that middle fold, push in, and pull that whole device down so that we have this. Okay, so let's do that again. There's something wrong, Mr. Creek?
Christine misspelled hi and said Ty Tom, and I said Ty Christine.
Okay, we're going to put adhesive on the triangle that's there on both sides. You know, if you're on your phone, that's really hard to do. Type it in. So we're going to put adhesive on this.
Okay, I got a question.
Okay.
Pamela Langdon.
Pamela.
Yes. Do you have a hint for those of us who do not have a die cutting machine that is long enough for this die? I bought it, but don't always get it cut out correctly. Does she have the extended cutting pads? I'm wondering. And what die cut machine does she have?
Ask her that. What kind of die cut machine do you have? And the standard platform, this fits on the standard platform of the Sizzix machine. So I don't know. I don't think it requires anything special.
Let me ask her what machine she has.
Yeah, it fits on the, both pieces fit on the standard platform. So I'm going to remove the tape on this. And we're going to, actually I need to remove the tape on this side. Get the tape off. Wow, you're lagging really.
Oh, okay. Pamela, All right, explain to
Okay, so
Pamela.
what we want to do, just a minute, hon. What we want to do is set this in, right? We want the point, this hole that's in the middle to be right on that point, and we want that rounded edge to end up being over here on our left. So we're going to set that right in there. Okay, and push it down, and then we're going to close our card. And I did not pre-fold this card. It would have helped if I had pre-folded it. And that is going to install the mechanism for us. Okay. Okay, what was your question, Mr. Creek?
Okay. Pamela asked about her dies were too long for her die cut machine. And she has a big shot, so all she needs is the extended.
Dies are too long. This die is or some other die
Right,
is?
let me explain. Yes, our dies are too long. She has too short a cutting platform.
Okay, this die is not too long. It fits on a standard configuration.
Okay, tell her that.
Okay.
Uh,
So does she mean she has other dies that are too long? If you have dies that are too long for the standard cutting pad, which would be this is the standard length, and this die fits on the standard cutting pad. If you have other dies that are too long, then you need to purchase the extended cutting platform, which is longer, and the extended cutting pads. And we do have both in stock, but I don't know if I have the platform online. I know the cutting pads are online, but I'm not sure about the platform. So if she has an issue, she can email us and we can try to work through that further. But that should fit on the standard configuration. Okay, so I have die cut the panel already, and it's ready to go. And we're going to accent that panel with our alphabet. This is the outline alphabet set, and I've die cut some stars and some hats. We're going to decorate it. So I have these things already die cut for us, so you don't have to sit here and wait for me to die cut. And when you die cut the outline alphabet, I designed this alphabet set. I'm pretty sure that we are the only company in the industry who has an alphabet set that actually does what this alphabet set does. When you die cut it, this is what it looks like when it comes out of the die cut machine. Okay, I'm gonna get it up there so you can see it. And what happens is it's all holding together. I've got my super tacky tape on the back, so it is a sticker. And what I'm going to do is pull it apart. And when I pull it apart, I'm gonna have what I call an outline letter, what Mr. Creek calls an innie, and an outie. Okay, so we're going to put the yellow letters down first. So we want to get rid of the outie because we're just using the innies. So when we do this, we're going to cut it in 2 colors. And we're going to outline one color, another color. Tom, if you are available, you could come over here and peel these blues for me. That would help. You have to come on this other side probably.
Where are the blues?
The blue are right here in this pile. Blue.
You want innies or outs?
I need outies, so maybe you better let me peel them. Not that I don't trust Mr. Creek, but you know, he is hunter man, not card crafter man. Okay, there we go. Now what we're gonna do is 2-0-2-0, right? So what I'm going to do is lay this on my grid, and I'm lining up the center line of this panel with the center line of my grid. I'm going to take my undo, and I'm going to flood this card with undo. Now, the reason I'm flooding my card, I don't know if you guys can see this, but if I flood this with undo, I can actually see the grid through the white paper. That gives me the ability to know that my letters are centered exactly because I can see the grid. Yep, you can see the grid through there, and line everything up. And if I need to move everything, I can move it. Any questions, Thomas? Edwin?
Judy Cook, what is the amount for free shipping? And is that before or after the 20%? discount. It's $50 after the 20% discount
Okay.
for free freight.
Did you put that in there?
Well, I can't type that fast.
Okay.
So I was hoping you
It's
could.
$50. Say it again.
Judy Cook asked, what is the amount for free shipping and is it before or after the 20% discount? And the answer is, Judy, you get free freight.
Free freight on
after-
orders
on
over
orders
$50.
After the 20% discount.
Yep. Okay. So then we're going to go back with the O. Now, because we have that undo down in the background, it allows us to be able to slip that outline right on our letter. So this alphabet set is great for these type of cards because you can do the school color and get that going, looking magical. And you can see it's trying to pop up on me because that undo is still there. When the undo evaporates, it's going to lay down and I will have permanent adhesion. And I'm just going and pulling off the innie and the outie, and we're putting the outie on. And you can see there, we have all of those paper fibers hanging off. So we'll need to go back and use that in Belly Jelly again. Okay. These graduation cards are going to be very meaningful to our kids graduating this year, since everything is kind of crazy. Now, this is the graduation cap from the mini grad cap set, and it is included in the bundle special that we're going to use next week. So if you get that special, that will be in there. When you buy that, it comes with the graduation cap and the diploma and some confetti. So here's the diploma. What's kind of fun about the diploma is you get the little bitty bow die, you get the scroll, and then there's a little mat for the scroll. So you can cut it on those colors. And I've got my tape on the back. We're going to set that in right there. Now I have my bow on there upside down. I really want my bow facing the other direction. And I stuck it on earlier because it's so small. So I'm just going to put a dot of undo on it and turn it around. And when that evaporates, I'm going to have permanent adhesion. Now I want to add some stars. So I wanted the stars to have extra dimension. So I cut 2 of them. And I'm going to stick one onto the other. So they'll be nice and sturdy. I don't have to worry about them getting bent. Whoops, straighten that up a little bit. Okay, 2 of those. So this is our stitch star die. If you don't have one, it is a great one. Comes in, there's a bunch of different sizes of it. Let's stack those together. And then we're going to adhere those with just a little piece of tape on the back of each one. And we'll have accented our panel. So pick tool is really handy at pulling tape and manipulating that tape where you want it. Okay, we're going to add our stars. Now I see we have hair all over our letters, and I'm going to fix that. So I'm going to open up our Embelly Jelly. And we're just going to push that in around that outside edge of those letters and clean those up like magic. And you can see my undo's evaporating. Everything's sticking down. Clean those up. Now, I got a little bit of paper fiber on this letter that's not cooperating with me. So I'm going to take my pick tool and just kind of loosen that up and clean that edge up. And then go back and clean it up. Now we're looking good. Okay, we're good. Tom sounds like he's writing a term paper over there. I don't know if you guys can hear him typing, but he's like typing away. Let's clean this up. Okay, so we're going to take our card and we need to fold. So we're going to do valley fold first, mountain, valley, and we're going to adhere that into the mechanism. So we're going to put a piece of tape on the top left. The bottom right. And, you know, that might be easier to put on when it's laying down instead of waiting. But I always do it that way. Okay, then we're going to line up that rounded corner on the left and that rounded corner on the bottom right. And you have just made your pop twist card. When you shed that first time, you kind of got to train the fold. Takes a few times opening and closing. There you go. So we're going to add the front. How fun is that? Get the front put on our card. So I'm going to take my tape. I'm going to run that all around that edge. And I have found that if I can run this tape all in one piece, I can pull it off all in one piece, which I'm excited about. It's the little things that make me happy. Okay, so if this is all pushed down, take our pick tool in one pull. We're ready to go. And we can put that on. Now, if we hold it on opposite corners and put it down, if I have those corners square, then I know everything's square on my card. And we are good to go. Now, I did not put the dot on my eye. I'm not going to take time to do that tonight, but we could. Pop. Any questions, Thomas?
No, not yet.
Okay, that's our first card. That was a nice pop twist graduation card. We do have another card to do tonight, and it's got a little fun trick I'm going to show you. But I think Tom has stuff to give away.
Yes, absolutely.
Let me pick up my stuff here, and then we're going to work on that rainbow card.
Okay, we're going to give the markers away.
Okay, hang on. Are you coming over here?
Yes, yes.
He's coming over. Oh, I don't want to pull the camera up. I've got it set nice.
Really?
Yeah. Do you want to? Okay, I'm going to leave Tom in charge of moving the camera, and we'll see how he likes pushing that camera up and down. Okay, come on over, baby.
Okay.
What are you giving away?
I'm giving away this 12-pack of markers.
You know, everyone, it would be great to own a 12-pack.
A 12-pack of
Markers.
permanent
Wouldn't it?
markers.
Nice gift.
Can I just raise the camera up and I'll be there, or will it be upside down?
I don't have any idea. You're probably upside down.
Am I upside down? Hey, crafters, good to see you again. I can get this to stay up. There it is. Ha ha! Okay, I'm going to give this 12-pack of Sizzix markers away. These are alcohol.
Upside down.
Or upside down?
No, you are.
How, now the markers are right side up, so.
You're upside down.
Okay. All
See,
right.
I told him.
Okay, I'm alive. Okay, back to the markers. Okay, crafters, I got the Sizzix 12-pack of markers. They have both the brush tip, actually it's not a brush tip, it's a wide tip, and a pinpoint tip. And the question is, this is tonight's trivia question. Actually, we got another prize we're gonna give away later, but tonight's trivia question. As you know, I like to hunt.
Well, how would they know that?
Well, most of you ladies or crafters already know that I like to hunt, fish, and play on my farm, and I just do this for a living. Anyway, in about a week, a hunting season is coming up. Tell me what I'm going to be in the woods. I'm going to be out there looking for something, hunting this down, hunting it down. Tell me what it is I'm going to be hunting in about a week. Okay, winner, the first person gets it, gets the markers. Okay, Julie, you're on.
Okay, but you didn't turn the camera down.
I didn't. Hold it. We've got a winner. We've
I
got a
don't
winner,
think
but I
that's
gotta make
fair. He
sure-
didn't turn the camera down. I told him that was his responsibility. Okay. So, do we know who the winner was?
We do, but I gotta double check.
Okay,
because
Tom's
I
double
always
checking to make sure
announce it
that he
ahead of-
doesn't do it wrong. So, we're green as a gourd here and trying to learn how to do this. So we're doing our best. So while Tom's doing that, let me tell you this. Next Tuesday, which is April the 12th, I think. I lost my paper. Hang on, lady. Sorry. We're gonna do anyway. Next Tuesday, we're doing first responder cards.
Michelle Ruff is the winner.
Michelle Ruff is the winner. So Michelle, if you can private message us on Facebook your address, we'll be happy to send you that awesome 12-pack of markers.
Tell them what the answer is. What will I be hunting?
Oh, what will you be hunting?
Uh-huh.
Mr. Creek will be hunting mushrooms. And he will, if you're not familiar with this phenomena, I don't know if we have people from all over that watch. In the Midwest, do they do it in the South?
Yeah.
In the
some parts of
Midwest,
South.
in the spring,
In the woods.
when it's really, really wet, you can hunt mushrooms, which means you walk around in the woods and look for them growing in the ground. And they usually, they like to grow around dead trees. See, this is the educational experience that you're having.
Experience.
Or under mayaples. And then when I was a kid, it was a big thing in our family to hunt mushrooms. So Tom will bring them in the house. He will cut them up and soak them in. Are you soaking them in vinegar?
No.
Just
it's
salt water overnight, so all the bugs can, because they have little bugs in them. And then in the next day, he will fry them.
Yes, for breakfast.
So for breakfast.
With eggs.
With eggs. Now, a few years ago, I grew up eating mushrooms like this. And we used to hunt for sponges. There's all different kinds. And you just kind of grow up with this, so you kind of know what you can eat and what you can't eat. There are wild mushrooms that actually can kill you. But anyway, a few years ago, I got really sick eating mushrooms. The same mushrooms that Tom ate that he did not get sick. So I don't eat mushrooms anymore. I love
I think
them.
it was the oil in the
Yeah, but you didn't get sick, and I did. Anyway, it will soon be mushroom hunting. What we need for good mushroom hunting is sun and a good moist spring. So it's looking positive at this point, and we have ground that Tom loves to hunt on. And he will be running off the violators who will show up and try to steal the mushrooms off of our ground, and he will turn into a lunatic. Maybe if that happens, I can get it on video. That would be hilarious, because he has been known to be
confiscate.
just a little bit confrontational if you try to steal his mushrooms. So that was just a little bit of Indiana trivia for you there. Now, people will actually hunt these, and then they'll sell them to the local grocery store. How much do they sell for?
$40 a pound.
$40 a pound in the grocery store. So many morels. Yes. Yeah, we like the morels. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. You guys got it. Okay. So next Tuesday, we're going to do, we're going to make 3 cards, and they're what I call the first responder cards. So we're going to do a police officer, and we're going to do a doctor. We're going to do a nurse. So we're working off of the card base. We'll be working off of the dad's shirt card base. And it's right up here. It looks like this. So it's actually made for you to make a Father's Day card with, but I thought it would be cool to do some first responder cards. And I will have a file that you can purchase and download online to go with this that I don't have complete yet. I'll post on Facebook when I do have that complete. It will have the clip art for the officer's badge. It has the paramedic symbol in it. It has the firefighter badge. So you can change this shirt out into whatever uniform your loved one wears to match their uniform. And there is a bundle special on the web, and the bundle special is for the dad's shirt die, the Grateful sentiment. What else is in this collection, Tom?
Oh, is this the graduation or the first
I'm talking
responder?
about first responders.
Okay, here it is right here. Dad shirt die, the pocket die, grateful
Okay.
sentiment die, regularly $44.48 on bundle special
so
$29.99.
Whenever you're buying the bundle special, when you buy the bundle special, it's always 30%. It's a greater savings. So if you buy that, that's on the website.
And it's free freight.
Free freight. We're gonna do this on Tuesday, and you will, if you want the pattern for the stethoscope and the badge, that whole thing, that PDF download is gonna have the full instructions and the patterns for those, because there's not enough market for me to justify putting the stethoscope into a die form. We just wouldn't sell enough of them. So it's in a pattern that you have to trace and draw. So pocket is in there, and we use the pocket here, and we use the pocket on the shirt. And if you look, I don't know if you guys can see this, those are stitched. So the pieces are stitched. I'm going to teach you how to make that collar for the nurse's uniform. So that's Tuesday. And then next Thursday is when we will be doing the graduation cards. So if you go to the blog, we talked about this earlier, if you go to www.creekbankcreations.blogspot.com, there's a full listing of the things that you need to make the grad cards, so that you could actually make the grad cards with us on Thursday. That's next Thursday night. And you can gather the supplies and use what you have, or if you want to purchase some supplies, you can purchase supplies. But this will be next Thursday. So I think these will be some fun cards that we're working on next week. We do have this paper pad that's called the Dad Plaid, and it has all these great dad patterns in it. And it would be great for the dad card. This is when I originally designed the dad card, I designed it for dad. And the cards that we're doing for the first responders are just a little spin-off of that. So hope you can join us for that. We'll have fun doing that. So we have another card to do. We're going to work on the rainbow. Hope your birthday is full of sunshine and rainbow. So we're going to build the front first, and then we're going to go do that panel on the inside. So I'm going to turn the camera down, and I'm sorry if you have vertigo, close your eyes, baby. See if I get better at this. Okay. That was a little better. Okay. How we looking?
All right.
We looking good?
We had dead air. Dead air. We can't have dead air.
We can't have any dead air. Okay. Bad girl, what you gonna do? So we're gonna build that front panel, and we are using the stamp set that's called You Are My Sunshine. And it's got all kinds of really great sayings on it. You're my sunshine. Hope your birthday's full of sunshine, rainbows, you shine. Sending a little bit of sunshine. I hope brighter skies come your way soon. Hello, sunshine. So, that.
You are my sunshine.
Yes, baby.
My only sunshine.
I previously.
You make me happy when skies are gray. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
It just comes.
I know. I previously stamped this, and we're going to adhere that down, because the first thing we're going to do is put our yellow sun on the background. Now, I have previously taped this off with the purple tape, because I do not want that pattern down on the bottom. So I just covered it up with some purple tape. And we're going to tape that in place, and we're going to add our yellow. I'm working.
That looks like you won the blue ribbon, Mr. Steve.
I won the blue ribbon. I'm going to use the yellow tiara, and we're just going to do that background. Now, I have been asked about the rainbow die, and people want to know if I want to cut that in every color and have the rainbow do I have to cut that in all those different colors? Red, orange, yellow, blue, green? And the answer is yes. But I'm going to teach you a little trick tonight that I discovered this week because I was like, okay, what can we do to get around that? And I'm going to show you what I came up with. So we're going to ink our background. And I like to kind of get the center darker if I can and have the sun radiate out. There we go. Now, while we have that down, I'm going to pull the card. I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to pull my card up. So I'm taking the undo and I'm pulling that up. And I'm going to take the inside of the card and I'm going to put that underneath my stencil. So this is just an A2 size card. Just going to slide that under there. And I'm just going to put some ink on that. All around. Top, and then I'm going to hit the bottom of it. And you don't have to get it really dark. I just like to have a little bit in that background. So we have that. And I'm going to take and lift this up. And I'm going to turn it around, put it back in there, and do the same thing. Get it centered. And I've put the stencil on using the grid, so if I watch, I can line that back up. And I like to keep the bottom a little bit lighter because I am going to go in and sign it down there. So not so much on the bottom. There's my background. Okay, we are done with that stencil. So we're going to pull that up. And now, do you see how we've created that great pattern for the inside of the card? We want to get rid of that piece of tape that's there so it doesn't end up messing up our card. The tendency is if you leave that piece of tape there that you can end up really boogering up the card. Okay, now we know that we have to mark the center point of our card. And I have taken away my orange cheater, Tom.
What are you looking for?
My orange cheater. I got another one. I got a second one. Remember that jig that we created? We need that for the middle point. So we're going to put that on and it's telling me mark my center point. And we're going to build our device just like we did the last time. Train the folds. And then we're going to fold that up. Fold that in. We're going to add our tape. The fun part about this card is building that panel, and it's just a cute little trick that I'm doing with it. So I am going to peel the tape. We're going to do this different this time. We're going to peel one side and then the other one. Peel the tape. Set my panel in there, right on that dot, and I want the rounded corner on the left, top left. Push that down. Put my tape on. You know, one thing about it, you get into your craft supplies and you start making cards, you'll stop worrying about all the other stuff going on, that's for sure. Because it's therapeutic. Okay, so we have installed our device. Got that part done. Nice. Okay, now we have this. We need to add our rainbow. So here's my little cheater tip I'm going to share with you about the rainbow. This is the rainbow die. Okay, when you die cut, this is the package. When you die cut it, it's going to cut the entire rainbow every time you die cut it. So here's my little cheater tip for you. So if we want to do this rainbow, we have to cut it in red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and then we have all these other pieces left over. But if we cut it on white, which is what I'm going to do tonight, I've got my super tacky tape is already on the back. So that means I unroll my tape. I put my white piece of paper on it. I trim it out. So what I have here is white cardstock and tape on the back. I'm going to put my die on the top and I'm going to die cut it. This is going to give us the ability to have that rainbow without cutting it in all those different colors. So there's my outtake. I'm going to pop this out. And we're not even going to use all of them. Pull that out. Okay. There's my rainbow. So what we're going to do is ink each of those a different color. So we're going to take our J block, get my block out, and the first one is red. So I'm going to take my red, rockin' red, and when I use these, I'm going to keep that bristle up pretty tight because I want a pretty dark color out of it. So this will save you from cutting into 500 pieces and having, well, not 500, but it's a lot of die cutting to do all of those colors. Red, orange twist. And with the J brushes, we recommend that you have one brush per color family. I gotta make sure I get my pieces straight here. I bumped it. So you got to keep your pieces straight or you'll mess up your rainbow. There you go. And then if you trade out between colors, you can clean it off on a wet wipe. So if I wanted to do lighter orange, I can clean this off and then pick up a lighter orange with it. For the rainbow, I like to get a lot of color on there. So do you see how I'm keeping that band down tight? And I'm putting a lot of ink on there. There's my orange. Any questions, Thomas?
No.
Yellow. I really like to keep these Catherine Pooler inks, honestly, with less ink in them. They come with a ton of ink in them, and I really like to use them when they don't have so much ink in them. So my ink pads do not have a lot of ink in them. I kind of like to get the ink off of them. They're a little too juicy for my liking.
By the way, the Catherine Coolers are still on special.
Yes, the Catherine Pooler ink are all online and they're all on special. And we do have
A lot of multi-packs here.
a lot of the little minis. So if you don't have the minis and you want to pick up minis, that's a good way to get a lot of colors of ink at a good price. We will only have those on sale during this special time, as we are not supposed to be having them on sale. It's a secret just between you and I. Purple. I mean blue. Let's do blue. One more. And then do you see how we'll be able to stack all these up, one right on top of the other, and we'll have made our rainbow. And they have that little stitch mark right down the middle. Okay, get our card front, and we're going to start with our blue. And we're just going to peel that liner off the back and center that right on our card. Right around there. And that will be our beautiful rainbow.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
You could like find music for me, dear. Love the rainbow happiness. Alrighty, there we go. Nice. There's our rainbow. We're going to add that to the front of our card. Get rid of my brushes. So we're going to put our tape around. Now, I do not always use this much adhesive, but when we're making a card that's popping and twisting and moving all over the place, it's really nice to have quite a bit of adhesive on it. Sorry, my paper's slip sliding all over the place. Pull off our tape. We're going to adhere that to the card front. Oh, now, I should tell you, I inked the edges of this white card with yellow with the J brush. I'm not going to do it tonight because I don't want to take the time, but it does add a little bit of contrast if you add that.
Doesn't it?
Add a little pizzazz, but you get that. You all know how to do that. You get that. Okay, good. We're good to go. We need to do our panel. So when we do our panel, we are going to take our super tacky tape. We're going to unroll it. I'm going to get rid of this ink background and get you a clean sheet here. Hang on. We're going to unroll our super tacky tape. We're going to get our regular cardstock. And we're going to... I just dropped everything on the floor. We're going to set that right in the tape. So this is what I call tape 101. We're going to trim it out. And we will be ready for die cutting. We want to make sure that any edges of tape that are left exposed are cut off. We don't want those. Now we're going to turn, this is my paper side. This is my tape side. We're going to take that die. Oh, it's always turns, and I always tell myself I'm not going to be a mess, and then I am. I'm going to turn my die face down into the tape, and I'm going to run that through my die cut machine. Remember how I talked about trimming that piece down and cutting it at an angle, and that's what I have right here. I already have die cut this piece. So what I have is tape on...
Time out. Deborah McCary asked, can you fold the inside of this? The cat alive. All right, hold on. Let me figure out what Deborah. I'll ask Deborah to repeat the question.
So we're going to add our die cut letters, and these are the Tom Text little letters to our panel. So you can cut any kind of message that you want. And what I'm doing is I'm using the...
Oh, she couldn't understand. Can you fold the inside of this, the cat alive? Never mind. I'm waiting for her.
Okay.
Slower, she said.
Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do is use that template, the die, as a little template to figure out where we want to sit our letters. Okay, so we're going to work those around and figure out what kind of message we want, how we want it to sit. You can move them around. Okay? Just like that. Now we're going to take our tape liner and we're going to pull that off. And this is going to be all sticky.
Fold the inside a little slower this time. You want to fold the inside.
The mechanism piece?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go back to that. We'll certainly go back to that. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm all sticky right there. Now here's where that embelly jelly comes in. We're going to open that up and we're going to get a little round ball of embelly jelly, tear off a little piece of it, roll it into a ball, and this is when you want to use your stick. Now my stick is like 8 years or I don't know, it's old. I broke it today because it's old. So I taped it together. So if you see tape on it, that's why. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to pick up our letters and we're going to set them right in the tape. So this is handy. Okay. Does that make sense, what we're doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you have the jewel pick tool, it'll do the same thing. Or the crystal katina, it will too. But that's a great little tool to have around. Okay, we've got our letters on there. So what we want to do is take our relief liner and we want to make sure that we push everything down into the tape. Pull the liner back off and we are going to take the Creek Bank Creations new shake, rattle, and roll filling, and this is called Sunny Day. We're just gonna open it up and drop it right on top of that super tacky tape. All over. Just makes it really cool. You can do this and just make a background for a card, like we're using it on the inside, but you could literally just make a background too. Dump it on there. Get
Is
it
that
where
on the website?
Yes. Shake, rattle, and roll. It comes in, these are the yellow stars, but we also have the candy heart. This is Conversation Hearts, Spring Garden, Magical Mouse, Butterfly Bonanza. And you could do this with any of those.
What are they listed under on the webpage?
Shake, rattle, and roll.
No, all the sequence.
Shake, rattle, and roll.
Okay.
Yeah, shake it. I'm sorry, shake and rattle. Now we're going to take the relief liner. You named it. Tom names the stuff. We're going to take the relief liner and we want to push that down into the tape. Okay? And you want to make sure that you get everybody sitting down, because sometimes they don't want to sit down, they want to stand up. Get them sitting down. And then we're going to pick it up. And anything that's hanging off the edge, we want to either push it onto the tape or pull it off, because it'll probably fall off later. What's kind of cool is you can kind of see where you might I need another star there. Fill in.
What's the 14th? Did you say something about the 14th?
Yeah, I had a paper that had that written down and I lost my paper.
Had what written down?
Is that Tuesday? Is Tuesday the 14th?
What are you talking about?
We're making the police card on Tuesday
Oh, okay.
and the graduation cards on Thursday, and I had a paper that had that written down on it, which is which day. It says on the internet, when you look at the bundle special, it'll tell you what day.
Tuesday, April 14th is Dad's shirt.
There we go.
April 16th is Thursday, and we're going to do grad cards on Thursday.
Did that answer the question?
I hope so.
And I will post that on our Facebook page. I started putting that stuff up today and I didn't get it all the way done, ran out of time. Let's push that all down. Now, what we have are those beautiful stars, but we're still all sticky. So you know where I'm going, right? We're going to take this Get rid of that. I'm gonna get out my Tough and Tidy dry mop cloth. I get this at Walmart. Anytime I'm getting the dry mop cloth out, I'm getting out glitter. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our glitter bowl. So the purpose of that dry mop cloth is that it really helps catch the glitter and trap it and keep it from flying all over the place. We're just gonna set that down in the glitter bowl. And you know, we have the pixie puffer that puffs glitter, but for this, this requires a lot of glitter, and I just prefer the glitter bowl. And I'm using our pixie dust, and I actually have 2 containers of pixie dust that I keep in my glitter bowl. So we're gonna take that, put our lid down. Now, if you put that on top of your dryer sheet or the dry mop cloth, it's going to catch all that extra glitter. So we're going to go back in and just burnish that off. And what we have is that beautiful panel that we just made. Okay. Right, I got that caught up. Okay, now, isn't that pretty? We're going to do our valley fold. Mountain fold, valley fold. And we just made that beautiful panel. Okay, so we're going to take our panel. Now here's what's great. You have all this, you can just pick that up and flip that out in the trash can. And if you keep your little dryer sheet, you can reuse your dryer sheet. Now, we did this. I will go back to this mechanism. I think that's what you guys were asking about. But we're going to add our tape in there. Top, left, bottom, right. And that's our beautiful panel. So you can make these panels. You can put your grandchild's name on them, because you can die cut them and make them custom. And I'm going to put that corner right down on that corner, match up the corners.
Have you tried putting small pictures?
You know, I haven't tried it, but I know people have. Like for graduation, you could do a series of pictures for graduation too, which would be cool. So you have to train it a few times, get it to open and close well for you. There you go. So let's go back.
Show them the card again. Open the card again and show it to them. Yeah. Cool.
Ta-da! Isn't that sun panel beautiful? I just love that. That makes me happy. Okay, let's go back to that mechanism because that was your question. So when you die cut it, it looks like this. And you know what, Tom, can you go grab me like a blue piece of 12 by 12, some color? I think it would help if I had some contrast behind this. We'll get some contrast behind this so you can see this better. This is the piece that we want to, when you die cut it, keep your die at a little bit of an angle when you run it through your die cut machine, because we don't want the paper fiber breaking. We want to mold it and we want it to bend. Tom's grabbing me a piece of paper. Okay, do you want to do your contest while we do, or do you want to wait a little bit more?
Yes.
Okay, so, well, let me fold this. We're going to fold it in half on the long line there. We're going to fold it on the 2X. There's like an X in there. Fold it and train your folds. And then go the other way. Okay, so here's what you've got. This is going to go on your top left. This is going to go on your bottom right. So here's what I do. I turn it over and I put my fingers right on that middle fold. And you want to push that middle fold in. Well, there we go. I did it a gazillion times too. There we go. That needs to go in. And and that needs to go. I did. I certainly did. And that needs to go in. Let's try that again. Fingers there.
it's important to make all your scores.
Yeah,
really
I
good
had my
and
scores.
cold. Now,
Okay.
they also need to know that that's symmetrical, so that there's not a front side or a back side. They can turn it over, and either side will work just the same.
Okay. There we go. That makes sense. I hope that helps. Can you read what her comments? I can't.
Flip it over. So, see, front's the back's the front.
Okay. Okay. Does that help? I hope that helps. And then you're going to put tape on top and bottom. Okay, I think Tom has a little something to give
Yes,
away. I'm going to
yes.
pull this camera up. Hang on. Sorry. Hello.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to let Tom pop in
Here,
here.
you stay right there. Come
Oh,
on,
stay
sit.
right here.
Okay, I'm gonna give this set of 3D embossing folders away. Somebody asked me when we were in the process of, I don't know, Julie was telling me I was doing something. Anyway, they said, how long have you guys been together married?
Oh my gosh.
So whoever can tell me how long we've been married wins the embossing folder. So,
Oh, come
okay, yes,
on.
that's right.
Do
That
I
is-
get an anniversary present?
That's as of June. That's as of June 22nd of this year.
So, hope you enjoyed the pop twist. I know a lot of you
David
already
Starsky is the winner.
own it. So if you have
David Starsky.
David Starsky is the winner. So David, if you will private message us on Facebook with your address, we'll be happy to ship you that embossing folder. Tom and I met when I was 17 and Tom was 23. And we were I was in a leadership program in my church, and we had like high school, college, career type thing. And so I was in this leadership team, and Tom was in the leadership team. Tom had graduated from college and had a job, and he called me to help on a project one night. And you know, that was when the phone was connected to the wall, and you like went to answer the phone, and I answered the phone in the middle of the kitchen, and he asked me to help on a project at church. And I hung up the phone and I said, yes, he's going to ask me out. And my dad said, over my dead body. He is 23 years old. There is only one thing he wants from you. So,
I wonder why.
who didn't know how to cook or do laundry? So Tom and I dated my parents for a long time.
It was a courtship.
It was a courtship. So, that's the story of how Tom and Julie met. And I told my mom said, you know, Julie, he seems kind of excitable. Are you sure he's the right one? And because I was
Excitable boy,
at the
they all
time
said.
19 and I knew everything, I said, oh, Mom, he's young. He'll outgrow that. So now when he annoys me, my mother says to me, oh, Julie, he'll outgrow that. So, hey, thank you so much for coming and joining us. And we will be back here next Tuesday. We are so appreciative of your support.
We love you all,
Love it
ladies
so
and
much
gentlemen.
that you
Thanks for
come
coming.
and
We
hang with
appreciate it.
us. Thank you so much. We'll see you next Tuesday. And we're doing first responder cards.
And don't forget the specials. We got the bundle special. And don't forget the code for 20% off.
Sunshine.
See you next time. Bye.